Hey everybody, welcome back to the Infinite Regression. Oh man, so infinite, so regressy, as always. But we're not going to hang out in here too long because we got Minecraft to play. We definitely do, definitely are going to be crafting some mines. But you know what? Before we even do that, we've got things to talk about the channel and what I've been doing and whatnot. So, uh, yeah, let's talk for a second, and then I'll play some Minecraft, and then we'll, try and keep it short. But I do want accountability because here's the thing, like all of a sudden, let's go, like let's first of all switch out of this count, switch back to this count, uh, the one that you're watching right now, and if I go into my studio. Um, I've got 248 subscribers plus 61 in the last 28 days. That's quite a bit for me, you know. I did have that one guy saying like, "Oh, you could have 30 bajillion by March or whatever." No, he said 13,000 by March, and that's probably true. There are probably ways that I could optimize what I do, um, but ultimately, I'm not about optimizing. I'm about like being who I am and doing what I do and being honest about everything. So yeah, I'm, if anything, too transparent. So yeah, let's talk about what was happening here because this is what I've gotten hung up on. And this is why you haven't seen very many updates from me in the last like week and a half or so. Um, which is the time in which a bunch of people joined my channel, and it's like, okay, I got it. Mm-hmm. Here's what I struggle with. Like, let's make this clear. Those of you who are new might not know this, but like, I love shouting into the void. Like, that's my favorite. I have so many like half done abandoned blogs like scattered throughout the internet. All of my YouTube channels were started as like me just being like, "Hey, no one, I'm recording videos and nobody's gonna watch it." And then some people started watching it because, of course, video games like there's an overlapping interest, and if I don't do a terrible job of it, then people are like, "Sure, I want to see what that. I want to know what that is." And so, like, yeah, you're here. Those of you who are watching this right now, you're here. That's crazy to me. But it's also awesome. It's also the power of the internet. If the internet was for anything, what it has always been about is like getting together people with passions for similar things. And that's the beauty of it. And so, like, you know, I've always like been a person with exceptionally low self esteem who is like has a hard time taking compliments and has a hard time like believing that other people are interested in anything that I do. You know, it is a product of many things. I'm not gonna like unload on you psychologically right now, but just understand that that's kind of a place that I'm coming from. So when I say that it is kind of crazy that there are people like even as many as 248, is that what the number is? Yeah, 248, close to 250. I should do a 250 subscriber giveaway. I should. Totally. Like I've got, you know what? Like I I occasionally go on Kingwin. I don't know if you guys know about Kingwin. You should if you don't. Like I assume everybody knows about it, but you can buy Steam keys and other keys. This is where I get my Windows on the cheap. Like, yeah, get my official Windows keys, and you can activate Windows and Office and everything else on the cheap. Why are we showing euros? I don't know why we're showing euros. I thought I told you that we are American here. Anyway, no slights to my European friends, but like, I'm sorry, I don't live in Europe. Anyway, and the exchange rate is different. Thanks, England. Anyway, but yeah, you can get good deals. It's like a Steam sale every day on here. But the thing I like is the random keys. I like doing random premium, because you can buy for $5. You get 5 premium random Steam keys. What they mean by premium is it's a game that has a 70% or better on Metacritic. Yeah, there are hangups to this. There are reasons why this might not always be the best thing, but like, I love doing it because I love mystery grab bag kind of nonsense. So like, I think for 250 subscribers, like we should just give away some Steam keys to people. That I think that it'll cost me $5. Like I literally don't care about the money of it. It's nothing. Like, but it would be fun to do. It would be fun to give out some games. Um, and I mean, I could give out the super budget ones that I've been reviewing, but then that brings us back to the problem, which is that I kept running across games that were asset flips. And if you don't know, I'm in my day job, I'm an English teacher, a high school English teacher. So like plagiarism pisses me off. Uh, it does. Just understand that's part of my job, part of who I am. And so I don't like it when people try and get a grade off of work that they didn't do. Think about how I feel about people trying to get money off of work they didn't do. That's just makes me very angry. And so, like, I had to go through, there were like 8 more games on this list that I eliminated because they are known asset flips. I'll show you which ones I mean because I need to call these guys out. I'm remembering that I don't swear on this channel. That's what my other channel is for. This one we try and keep it clean because I have students on here. Students might see this, and so yeah, they won't see my other channel where I'm like filthy filth and filth this filth and the filthy foul. Anyway, but yeah. So these are the games that are cheats, liars, and ripoffs. Cyberrunner 2048, that is an asset flip. Yeah, I know it looks cool, but it's a total asset flip. It's bullcrap. And they're charging what, $4 for something that they didn't make. Down the hill, same deal. Now it's back down to 27 cents, but it's normally 99. When I saw this, I thought the same thing everybody else did. I love Qbert. Like, Qbert is awesome. So, like, this game built off of Qbert concept. Like, sure, I want to play that, but it's an asset flip. They stole it. Like, it's not just stolen from Qbert. I don't mind people, like, remaking old arcade games and stuff. Because that needs to happen. Like, some of those goodies from the past need to come back, but it pisses me off when people steal things. Dungeon Slime. Yeah, this one also. Yeah, smoke criminals. Yeah, y'all are criminals because you just steal from people. That's bullcrap. Asset flippers. Anyway, Last Soldier. This one just looks lazy. And I swear to God, I have another game in my library that is basically the same thing. One of the ones the Russians bought me. Pew Pew. This one pisses me off because, like, first of all, look at it. It's Space Invaders, but with what's that game? Geometry Wars. Yeah, Geometry Wars graphics, but Space Invaders. Like, that sounds awesome. But Infinite Bridge ripped it off, and like, there's a guy. Let me see if I can find this guy right here. Obey the Fist. His whole thing is that he identifies asset flips on Steam and points them out, calls them out, and tries to get them shut down. And that's why he's been awarded so many times. Like, I gave him an award. Like, I gave him, sending some of this his way. Feel free to do the same. This guy is doing the Lord's work for real. Like, he has over 8,000, getting close to 9,000 reviews, most of them negative. Why most of them negative? Because he's pointing out the asset flips. Like, seriously. That's most of what you see him doing here on Steam, and I think it's great that somebody is doing this work. So Pew Pew is one. Snowboarding. I was actually excited about this game, because I saw it and I was like, oh, budget snowboarding game. That might be fun. Like, I love snowboarding games. And yeah, total asset flip. Once again, Infinite Bridge. We've seen this developer before because they steal stuff. They are thieves. They are horrible people. Stars Force. Same thing. Trinity Project. Yeah, I love shooters. Like, I do. I love shooters. I play a lot of shooters. Horizontal scrolling, vertical scrolling, doesn't matter to me. I love them. If they're good, they're fun, and I will play them. And, like, it just pisses me off that I may have been taken by this asset flip of a game. And let's see if our boy is there. Obey the Fist. There he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is. So basically, next time I do the shopping for budget Steam games, I am going to have to, like, put them all in my cart and then not buy them. I'm going to have to, because I try not to look at reviews beforehand, but I'm going to have to go to every single one and look for the negative reviews and see if our boy Obey the Fist is in there. Is Obey the Fist in this one? Nah, he not. He can't get them all, but it is a known asset flip. Yeah. So we're not messing around with asset flips. I'm sorry. That pisses me off. All right, let's pull up Minecraft. So I literally was not doing video game reviews because, like, I started doing some retro games, which makes me happy because I love retro games, because I grew up when retro was new, like, everything that is retro now was like brand spanking new. Like, I remember comparing NES graphics to Atari graphics and being like, whoa. And then I remember comparing Super Nintendo graphics to NES graphics and being like, oh my God, it's so realistic. 16-bit, I was like, it's like real life. You can still see the pixels, and I'm like, it is exactly what it looks like. And then PlayStation, and I was like, polygons, they're kind of awkward, but this is the future. Yeah. Anyway, like, I've been through all of the changes, and I love so many video games through the years, and I feel like, that's what this channel should be, is just, like, people who love video games just loving video games and appreciating them, sometimes for their ridiculousness, sometimes for their amazingness. Because, like, video games, just like any other medium, can, like, I mean, there are people who talk about, like, this game saved my life, where, like, they were in a really bad place in their life and they were playing video games, and the video game they were playing literally pulled them out of a slump. That's for real, for all the talk that happens on Capitol Hill about, like, oh, does it cause violence? Is this why we have mass shootings? No, it's not. Like, I'm sorry. That's a dumb question. You're asking the wrong question, Mr. Senator Man. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that, we've all benefited. If you're here, you've benefited from video games in your life. Like, they make you happy. They make you feel accomplished. They make you, like, connect with other people. That's amazing. It's amazing what a bunch of zeros and ones can do. And so, yeah, to celebrate that, I feel is an absolutely worthwhile cause. And so I'm happy to do it. Absolutely happy to do it. But on the other hand, like I'm weird about things, and I do get weirded out that that there's any expectation on my part. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to feel like I can always do what I want to do, which is why I really never took that guy up when he's like, "I will help you manage your channel to like maximize the number of subscribers that you can get." And I like just didn't respond to his comment other than to mention it a couple of times in these I'm playing Minecraft and talking about my channel videos, which people actually watch, which is like cool. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? You're here watching me play Minecraft, and it's probably baffling to you because you're like, why is he just mining? Why doesn't he just strip mine this? Like he's not finding any resource. I mine for the Zen, my dudes. Like I make massive mines. The last world that I was doing this in, like you could stand. I have a 2060 Super, so I have like a good graphics card. You could stand at one wall of the mine, and the back wall of the mine would not be visible. It'd just be black. Oh, sweet! I can sleep real quick. It would just be black because the game couldn't render far enough for you to see the back wall of my mine. It was so bad that like the back wall of my mine was in a completely different biome. I think it was like two biomes away from where I started. And so my crops wouldn't grow. It was a serious problem. Like I'd never thought about that like my crops wouldn't grow because my mine was too far away from my house. Yeah, problems. Anyway, but I mine for the Zen, and sometimes I get very extremely Zen. So yeah, that is the thing. So why haven't I been updating more regularly? Because I'm still like figuring some things out. Number one, a new semester started, which is the equivalent of a new school year for me, which is number two. And also because like I was so pissed at all those asset flip games, and I didn't want to have to go through every single one and look at the reviews to find out if they're asset flips, because I don't like looking at other people's reviews before I review a game, because it at least makes me honest, because there are games where like you're not going to like it even though it is an absolute classic in that genre, like for I'll give you for instance. All right, my wife loves games in which you manage resources and build up increasingly complex structures over time, right? So you're thinking RTSs and stuff. No, that's not what she plays. Like, she likes the first person experience of doing that. And so Satisfactory is like pretty much her favorite game. And every time they come out with an update, she will play the entire game start to finish again and create, massive optimized factories and stuff. And she has a hard time like feeling immersed in the game when it's not first person 3D graphics, cuz like I bought Stardew Valley for her, which is like it's Stardew Valley. Everybody loves Stardew Valley. Even people who don't play those kinds of games love Stardew Valley. And does my wife love Stardew Valley? No, she can't get into it at all. Uh just no love for it whatsoever. And it's not that she's like, boo, I hate this game. She's just like, this is not really what I'm into in a gameplay experience. Which is, like, just be honest is all we can ask for. And so, like, it's always been my policy that I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be, like, influenced by trends or what other people think about things. I mean, there are times where I will acknowledge, where I'll be like, look, I know that there are people who love this game, but it is not my thing. I've said that before on things like, you know, types of games that I do not enjoy. I really don't like survival horror. I just don't like it. Uh, because it survival horror to me is the most frustrating part of a regular first person shooter, but played out for the entire game. You know, the part where you're low on ammo and you don't know where to get more, and the enemy is beating down upon you, and you're just like, what do I do? How do I get out of this situation? Yeah, that for like 20 straight hours is survival horror to me in my brain. And that's why I don't like it, because that part of a first person shooter is frustrating to me, you know? So, uh, yeah, different strokes for different folks. So if I play a survival horror game, I will probably say, like, hey, somebody else might like this. I don't. It is not my cup of tea. How do I end up with survival horror games if I don't like them? That's because Russians hacked my account and bought me a ton of games, which is part of the reason why this channel exists in the first place, is for me to review my own games so I know what they are, because the vast majority of them were not purchased by me. They were purchased by Russian hackers who were using auto achievers so that they could get stuff for the games they were playing. Um, and so, yeah, like, I have all of these games that I've legitimately never played, even though it says that I have 4.7 hours on record. There's some iron. It's about dang time. Been waiting on this. So yeah, like, I have a ton of games and I'm trying to review my way through them, and it's, you know, like, it started as just a thing for me, and then a couple of people hopped on board, people that I've never met, that I never knew ever, have been on board and have been very supportive, uh, and that's amazing, you know. People like Own Collective, who, like, have been here since the very beginning. Sweeney Land, also since the very beginning. We're talking about people who, like, got what I do and were like, yeah, I like this. And to me at the time, I was like, why? What are you doing? But no, they've been very supportive and very cool, and I appreciate that. The fact that there is any community whatsoever built up around this, even how relatively small it is compared to anybody else's community, I don't care about the size of the community. Just that there's any whatsoever is incredible to me. So good on you, you know? Like, I'm going to keep doing what I do, and if more people want to hop on board, that's cool. And if it just stays the same size that it is, I'm 100% fine with that. Like, this is not a second job to me. This is a passion project. That's all it is. And so if I ever make money at this, which I'm not planning on doing, but if I ever am able to monetize this channel, that'll be the graviest of gravy. You know, I look at other channels and, like, honest to God, like, the one thing that I'm envious about them on is that people send them games from time to time. Like, just send them stuff. Like, companies will be like, hey, will you review our game? And then they review it, you know? Like, that I'm envious of. Any other part of it, I don't care. Like, that's just how I am. That's how I'm wired. Anyway, so yeah, let's stop talking about that, because I feel like we can talk channel shop to death. Like, it is what it is. I'm gonna go upside and you might not know, because I've been playing this quite a bit off video, like, because obviously I'm not always recording when I'm in this world. But I've been playing a fair bit of Minecraft lately, and I've been doing some silly things, because that's how I like to spend my time. Anyway, yeah, I built this over. Yeah, like, I was trying to find sheep, and I was like, sometimes they hang out around villages. No, they don't. I had to literally, in order to get the sheep that I do have, which I've been breeding them. I think I'm up to 4 now. Yeah, anyway, they're sheep. I'm letting all my animals be free range. Normally I pen them and cage them and stuff. It's like, no, I've got a nice big flat island. They're not going anywhere. I can lure them with the food if need be. But yeah, I had to take 2 separate trips. Oh, I think we got 5 now. Anyway, but yeah, 2 separate trips all the way over to an island that you can't even see over there, to get sheep. And that's how I got my sheep. And now I've got them, and they are here. And so now I can do things like, oh, I need to go. There's pumpkins like over past the village. I need to go get those because I always do pumpkin floors, jack-o'-lantern floors, because lighted floors. It's such a, fun thing to have. It's how I do. Anyway, I've been building this undersea lair because first of all, why not? Second of all, I always build houses in Minecraft and they're always stupid and I never live in them. And so yeah, why not build an underwater lair? And I'm doing this much smarter than last time I built an underwater lair. Last time I did it was I was just really dumb. Like I built all of the glass first and then just put it in the water, and then I had to drain all the water off manually, which involves a lot of sand and like just placing sandbox and then blocks and then digging them back out and letting them soak up the water. Tedious and terrible. And I know there are other ways to do it, but like with the resources that I had on hand at the time, that was what I felt was the easiest way to do it. But yeah, as it turns out, like just build smarter, and then you don't have to do that, because here's what I got going on right now is that doobadoo. So all of this is already built. Don't need to worry about it. It's already, I need to make some lighted floors for it, but whatever. You can see here let me go over here so I can stand and not drown. So you can see here that I've started digging out. This is going to be the width of the room, and eventually when I get over to here, it will no longer be, rock sidewalls. I want to be able to see out into the ocean. That's the ultimate point of having an underwater lair, because otherwise, why would you bother? Anyway, so yeah. Building my underwater lair, and how do you do that? You just dig down, chunkity chunk, place your glass block all the way across, and then dig out the row behind it, because this will keep this from getting waterlogged. It totally works. The water doesn't seep in because you're only digging out one row at a time, and you've already fortified the row behind it before you dig it out, and that's what makes it not get waterlogged. Now, granted, when I get over to here, and yes, I have measured, and hopefully my measurements are correct. By the time I'm over into this region, I should be fully out of the rock and into the water. And so, yeah, it's not going to take me that much longer because I'm only like 5 blocks deep. So yeah, let's measure actually. Let's see if my measurements are correct. So we're right here. So I think that's right, the equivalent of right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold up. Let me get my air first. So 1, 2, 3, but by now we would be seeing 4 or 5. Yeah, by then we would be seeing the water anyway, rising above the second block level, and yeah, it'd be totally doable. Anyway, so I'm building an underwater lair, and that's fun. Why is that block in the air? what is that? And why do I have to go over there at some point and take that out? Because I must. Like, do I have... No, I don't have enough of anything to go and do that right now. But at some point, I'm just going to have a butt ton of sand, and I'm going to do it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm doing in my Minecraft world. Oh, one other thing. Just, this is life stuff, but just telling you what I did yesterday, because my intention was to upload a whole bunch of videos to this channel, and I did not do that. I'm hoping to do some of that later today. But I've also got a bunch of stuff I got to take care of. Errands I got to run, planning for school. I've got, a little bit of grading. I've got things I got to take care of that are like top of the list life stuff. And then, with what leftover time I have, I will record some videos for the channel. So just letting you know where I am and what I'm doing. But here's what I did yesterday, which was actually really super cool. So... my daughter has been wanting to do a Minecraft server with her friends. And so we went through all the steps and set up a Minecraft server, like a regular Minecraft server that you would set up on. I have a computer that's set aside that just runs Minecraft server. Like, that's what it do. That's why I built it, and that's what it does. Anyway, so... my Minecraft server computer, we put the server on it and everything, and it's good, except for that's when we found out that, like, all of her friends be playing like console versions and Bedrock and whatnot, and we're playing Java, and they can't join the server. And I'm like, oh, well, crap. How do we rectify this situation? I was looking into it. And, basically what I found is that what I remembered is like, wait, I've got spare computers just kicking around my classroom, because they're all-in-ones. So they look like monitors, and at Goodwill, they thought they were monitors because they didn't have the power supplies, so they never plugged them in and turned them on. And so they had the, like, as is, we don't know if this works, like, stickers on them, which makes them cheaper because they're like $12 if they are known to work, and they are $10 if they are not known to work. I think they should be even cheaper, but then... I would have gotten these all-in-ones for even cheaper, and I can't complain about spending $20 on 2 all-in-ones. Anyway, that turned into 3 all-in-ones when I took them to the school, and I was fixing them up and preparing to give them away, because my idea was, like, give them to needy families in the area who need a computer. Because we live in an area that is rife with poverty, and like I figured that would be a good thing, probably help out students' families, and help them have a computer that they could do homework with and whatnot, and also play a few games and stuff, but like also learn computing, which is just skills that you need to know in life. And as it turned out, I got turned down. People were like, yeah, we don't need computers. I was like, really? I'll give them to you for free. They're like, nah, we're good. And so these computers, they sat in my classroom, and then a student was like, oh, I have one of those, but it's broken. Do you want it? And I was like, sure, I guess. They brought it in, and I fixed it very easily. Almost too easily. I asked him if he wanted it back. He said no. And so now I have 3 computers. And so 3 all-in-ones, and total spent was $20. And I'm like trying to give these computers away, and people are like, nah. Anyway, so my daughter is on her Discord server and whatnot, talking with friends, and I'm like, hey, what would make this work is if we just give them computers and set them up with Minecraft Java on a PC. Like, let's just do that. And she's she's like, "Oh, that sounds like a thing." And so I was like, her friend's parents have to say yes. Like, I'm not, like, I understand as a parent what this sounds like if somebody's like, "Can I give your kid a free computer?" Like, okay, where did it come from? Why does this exist? Who are you? What are you doing? Like, is it stolen? Like, these are things that you think, and it's perfectly reasonable for parents to be like, nah. And so, like, I definitely was like, your friends' parents have to agree that we are able to give them these computers. And so yeah, that is now a thing. And so what did we do yesterday? Well, when I was a kid, my dad would like wake me up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday because he'd already been up for 2 hours at that point. No lie, my dad still wakes up at like 4 in the morning, even though he's retired. It's stupid. Anyway, but yeah, so he'd wake me up bright and early after I'd stayed up late on a Friday night, and he'd like, throw oil filters at me and be like, "You're changing the oil on all the cars." uh, and we'd have like two, three cars, depending on how many we had at the time. It was always between two and three, and I'd have to go out and change the oil on all three cars by myself. Like, it used to be that he would wake me up and be like, "Okay, I'm teaching you how to change oil in cars." And then eventually he'd just throw the filters at me and be like, "Oil's sitting on the carport. Go put them up on the jack stands, and get the oil pan and do the work, get it done." Um, and that would just be what he expected me to do at the time. And at the time, I hated it and thought it was terrible and mean. But now I'm like, oh, thank God that he did that, because now I know how to do that. Um, it's just good things to know how to do. And so yesterday, I like, because my daughter decided that she wants these computers to go to friends. Friends' parents have said yes. And so we're the plan is go. But I'm like, no, 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 you're gonna be the one who is installing fresh copy Windows on these and all the things. And I couldn't find my Windows bootable USB, and so I just handed my daughter a USB thumb drive and was like, "Turn this into a Windows 10 bootable media." And she's like, "How do I do that?" And I was like, "Google it, find out. But like, you need to do this." And the secret is, it's not hard. Like, Windows wants you, like Microsoft wants you to do that. They want people to be able to do that. And so, like, she learned how to do that. And then she learned how to, like, partition hard drives and install Windows on a fresh, clean partition. And, and then how to set up Windows properly so that it's not annoying and Cortana doesn't talk at you at all. Because why would you want smarmy Cortana talking to you? Why? Who wants that? Nobody. Exactly. And she learned how to, install, set up Windows, learned how to install the programs that she needed, how to host a Minecraft server online, like with one of the free, I forget which one it's called. But I just like threw a YouTube video at her. It was like, "Here, follow these exact steps and you will be hosting a Minecraft server." And then she learned how to do it. And then she has a friend who already has a computer, but it's a Mac. And she's like, "Well, I'm going to talk her in how to install all the things." And then there were hiccups. And she's like problem solving and ITing 1, 2, 3, 4. With the problems, and through Discord with her friend. And it's like, these are very handy skills to have. Like, this could be a career, easily. You take what you know right now and literally, know more than a lot of people at any job, any office. Like, you would be the one that people come to for IT stuff because you know more than anybody right now because you've done these things, you know? And so, like, that was really cool, fun, teachable moments. And I just felt like my dad when he was like, learn how to change the oil very wisely, you know? I don't know if I'm going to be doing the same thing with my kids and cars, uh, because cars are changing, you know. They don't call them mechanics anymore. They call them technicians because, you know, it's as much computer as car these days. And so it's a different set of skills than, you know, just knowing how to, you know, turn a wrench here and there and make the thing go. It's, you know, now you got to debug it in the software. Uh, you got to, like, chase problems in a different way. This is a different world. And quite frankly, I don't have those skills yet. Like, not for cars, not for electric vehicles. Like, I don't have those skills. I don't own one, and I've never worked on one. So, yeah, someday for sure, when they're cheap enough for teacher salary. But anyway, yeah, so like having a good time, doing things, real life, good stuff, parenting, hard. Uh, and so, yeah, didn't get videos posted, but I do not regret it. I don't feel bad about it. Like, because having 248 subscribers makes me feel accountable, makes me feel like I have to put out content. But I mean, I would want to put out content anyway. And that's kind of one of the things I struggle with is like, am I doing this because I feel like I have to? Or am I doing this because I want to? Because if it ever starts being like, I do this because I feel like I have to, then you're going to feel all of the joy leave this channel and all of the like purpose for why I started in the first place will just dissipate, and quite possibly your reason for subscribing in the first place will be gone. Um and so I'm not doing that to myself, and certainly not doing that to my you know, 248 subscribers. Yeah. That's like, honest to God, um 247 more than I thought there would be, and I thought the one would be me. But I'm not subscribed to my own channel, so my other channels don't subscribe to this channel, is what I'm saying, which is fine. I don't need their help. Oh, slime. Let's kill it. I love it when my mind starts getting good enough for slimes. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to kill the slime. I'm going to wrap this up. I've droned on long enough. But, like, now you know kind of where I've been, what I'm doing. And look for a flurry of more videos coming out soon. Because even if I don't get them uploaded today... Oh, and I'm also going to, like, start scheduling so that we get regular content during the week. Because normally, as you've noticed, like... You'll get like, oh, he uploaded 7 videos at 2 in the morning and they're all here, you know, all at the same time. And most smart YouTubers will be like, why don't I space this out so that it can fit into people's lives so that they can be like, oh, it's a new video. I have time to watch that right now, you know, instead of it being like, there's 7 new videos. I'm going to ignore all but the one that I want. You know, like, yeah, I'm just going to try and be a little smarter. Maybe that's what the 13,000 subscriber guy wanted me to do. I don't know. We'll find out. Regardless, fact is that I'm happy if you made it here all the way to the end. I'm happy you're here. If we get to 250, you know, I'll probably do some sort of giveaway. It'd be super fun. I like the idea of doing something like that. I just like that there are other people who give a crap about what it is that I'm doing. That's just fun. Like, I hope you all have some version of that in your life, because it's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, well, I think that'll do it for this one, people. And look for more videos. And thanks for being awesome and being here and whatnot. And like sharing in the joy of the things that I like that you also like. That's just fun. That's what the internet is for, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. That, cat videos, and pornography. That's, I mean, right? But right, though, like, whether we like it or not, those are the three things. Anyway, so yeah, lovely. I'll stop blathering. We'll see you in the next one, people. That'll do it for this one. Okay, bye.